Hey, sisters. Hi, queens. Good evening. You're welcome to Power Up, another Monday Power Up session. And I'm super excited to be here. Please let me know if you can hear me clearly and if you can see me before we get into business today. And if you're here, please let me know you're here. Okay. Hi, Pansy. Let me know you're here. Great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, Titi. Great, great, great. All right. Let me know where you're streaming in from. We're in for an amazing time today. I know for 2 Mondays we haven't been live, but here we are. Okay, so let me know where you're streaming in from. Oh, yes, Elizabeth. Yes, I see you. I see you from OPIC. I see you. I see you. I see you. Oh, okay. You can't see me, but you can hear me. All right. Let me know where you're streaming in from. Let me know where you're streaming in from before we get in today. Let me know where you're streaming in from before we get in today. I know some people on YouTube as well. You're welcome. Super excited to have you here with me today. And it's going to be an amazing time. All right. We have TT from Lagos. You are welcome, TT. You're welcome. The volume is going in and out. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm sure my technical team will look into that. And just to be sure that it's not from your side. Yeah, so it's been an amazing, very extremely full season. At first, it was my 50th birthday celebration, and I celebrate everyone who celebrated me. I'm really, really so blessed to have you on my side in my family. Thank you, thank you, thank you. God bless you. And then we went into the World Changers Camp meeting, and right from there, we went into the Teens Camp meeting that just concluded yesterday. It's been amazing. It's been an amazingly full season for me, and in between, so many other things going on in between, and that's why we've not met for 2 weeks. But yes, I'm super excited. All right, Lashe from Lagos, Aja, you're welcome. Laura from Benin, you are welcome. All right. And I'm going straight into business. Aw, I missed you too. Thank you so much. I missed you too, Elizabeth. God bless. All right. Let's get Olainka from Oshogbo. You are welcome. So excited to have you here. All right. So let's just get straight into business today because we have a lot to uncover and it's going to be an amazing journey. I want you to tighten your seatbelt, get your writing materials ready, plug your ears in because you don't want anybody to distract you in the next 15 minutes. Okay, you don't want any distractions. You want to get everything right beyond just the words. You want an impartation of strength, of courage, an impartation of you just want to be empowered to do. It's off. Why could that? Why?
I think probably network.
Okay, so sorry about that. I heard I was out. So sorry about that. All right, can you see me? Can you hear me now? Can you see me and hear me now? Please let me know. And let me know if you've posted, if you've posted on your status, or you sent this to let everybody know that power up session is on. You don't want your girlfriends to miss this, do you? All right, let me know if you've already posted it. If you have, just go ahead and say done. Just go ahead and say done if you have already posted this. All right. So we can go straight in. We don't want anybody missing this. We don't want anybody missing this. Okay, so let's just go straight up because I have done mine as well. I posted. Oh, you can't see me or hear me. Please let me know if it's fancy or, oh, I'm not back yet. Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me? What's up? Hmm? Check. Have you checked on our? Be sure it's not.
This telephone was having an issue.
And so can we go to straight to what's it called now?
No, I need to get ready.
Yeah. So let's just put there that please everybody should let people go to YouTube. Put there that please everybody should. Okay. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me, please? Please let me know if you can hear me. I think we'll just have to go with the YouTube with the YouTube option. So please, admin, can you please post the YouTube option? All right. So I assume everybody can hear. Most of us can hear me. I assume most of us can hear me, right? Okay. All right. All right. So let's just get started. Oh my goodness. 15 minutes. We have just about 45 minutes left. Yeah, so please post the link to the YouTube just in case you don't hear me anymore or you can't hear me clearly here. I think there's something up with Telegram tonight. Okay, so you're welcome to the Power Up session. And this month we've been talking about the courageous woman. And it's something that is really, really important because most women have been stopped in their track due to fear. All right. So we're going to be delving into a truth that will transform your life. Okay. And that's basically how your courage is directly tied to your personal growth, or how personal growth affects your courage or your fearlessness. Right. Think about this. How many times, or many times, we don't lack opportunities, or abilities, or sometimes we don't even lack knowledge, right? But what we do lack is the courage to step out of our comfort zone and to seize the opportunities that are coming our way. All right. Oh, looks like the sound is gone again. Please, can you hear me? Can we just post the link? Can we just post the link to, yes. All right, we just log on to the YouTube. So, most of the time, it's not a lack of ability, it's not the lack of opportunities, it's not the lack of knowledge. Most of the time, it's lack of courage, right? And fear whispers to your heart, fear whispers to your head, you're not ready, right? You're not enough. What if you fail? You know, and all of those thoughts that come to your mind. However, here's the good news. The more you grow, the more you overcome your fears. The more you grow, the more you silence the voice of fear in your head, right? Personal growth is like strengthening your muscles. The more you grow in your mindset, in your skills, your emotional strength, spiritual depth, right? The bolder and more courageous you become, right? Growth enlarges your capacity, it shifts your perspective, and it builds inner strength in you to do what once terrified you, the things you were afraid of. I mean, one way you know you're growing in life basically is when you find yourself doing the things that once terrified you, doing the things that you couldn't dare to do or even think about. That tells me you are growing. And that's the whole big idea. Without growth, courage shrinks. But with growth, courage rises. And that's really what we want. We want your courage to rise so that you're able to fulfill the dreams in your heart and to do the things that God has laid in your heart to do. So today we will explore how personal growth doesn't just change who you are on the inside, but it gives you the boldness to face the challenges, the mountains, and seize opportunities that belong to you and to walk confidently in your God given purpose. Please, can you hear me? Wow, can you hear me? I hear there's um no volume on YouTube as well. No sound rather. Please let me know you can hear me. All right. So, before we go ahead, I'd like us to just take this short declaration just to prepare your heart and your mind for what we're about to talk about today. All right. I want you to lift up your right hand and say, I'm a woman of growth. I'm a woman of excellence. Every day, I expand my mind. I strengthen my heart. I sharpen my skills. Because I grow, I am courageous. I face challenges with boldness. I step into opportunities with faith. And I live without fear. My growth feeds and strengthens my courage, because that is true. Because that's so true. So, have you ever faced a situation where fear almost stopped you? Can you remember or think about a situation or situations where fear actually stopped you in your track, right? Um, but growth in some area of your life gave you the boldness to step forward. Do you understand? So fear almost stopped you, but because you have grown in certain areas, you realize you were able to move forward in spite of the fear. Can you think about such things? I have like 1,000 examples of that. How, at a particular time, there were certain things I couldn't do. For instance, what I'm doing right now, I couldn't do any of these things some time back, right? But as I began to grow, my confidence also began to grow. Courage began to grow inside of me. And the things that would have stopped me, the voice of fear that would have told me, you can't do this, you're not enough, you're not excellent enough, you don't have everything together yet, right? And all those voices that would ordinarily have stopped me then, they don't stop me anymore, because I've outgrown those voices, right? And that's really what I want to share with you today. So let me share with you so that you can see, and you can see where you really where this also affects you or relates to you. I call them the two versions of me, right? The two versions of me. As I was saying earlier, I remember a season in my life when fear had the upper hand over me. Opportunities came, but I found myself saying, "No, no," not because I didn't want those opportunities, not because I didn't think those were my opportunities, but because I was afraid, I wasn't prepared, I wasn't ready, right? I didn't have all it took. I didn't want to embarrass myself, or that what if I failed? I allowed those opportunities to slip out of my fingers. And I believe that most of us, if not all of us, went through that season or are still in that season. But one day I had to sit down and reflect on my life and to ask myself certain questions. Who would I be today if I'd said yes, right, to some of those opportunities that I allowed that allowed fear to take away from me, right? How many doors have I closed on myself because I wasn't growing then, right? Because I wasn't aware. I wasn't even self aware, right? How many things slipped through my fingers? Who would I have been? What would I have done? What would I have achieved if I did not allow those opportunities to slip out of my finger? And you see, at that time or at that moment, I realized there were two versions of me. One version that wanted to stay stuck, that wanted to stay in mediocrity, that wanted to stay in the comfort zone. Another version of me, of who that showed me who I could be, right? That person that I really wanted to be, that will make me uncomfortable, that will make me stretch out of my comfort zone, that will make me break down those barriers. Do you understand? That person that will make me stronger, wiser, bolder, right? If I chose growth. And so I made my decision. I chose growth, right? I mean, I would choose growth. You would choose growth. Most I would assume that most people would choose growth. Unfortunately, most women in particular fall back into mediocrity because they're too afraid still to pay the price that is necessary for growth. Sometimes when we talk about fear and we talk about, not being, not going out of our comfort zone and all of that, sometimes people think it's like the big things. But even the big things, the major things that don't seem so big, that don't seem so urgent, like, making up my mind, I'm going to become more. Making up my mind, I'm going to be the best version of myself or better version of myself. Making up my mind, I'm going to start my growth journey now. That I realize is very difficult for a lot of women because it's going to require change, and change is painful because you're going to have to unlearn and relearn. You're going to have to change your lifestyle. You're going to have to be more disciplined. You're going to have to change the way you think, the way you do things. And I realize most people are not willing to change. And so they get stuck in their comfort zone, in their fear zone, and they stay there all of their lives. But I believe that today, right, you're going to rise above that fear and you're going to choose the same thing that I chose. You're going to choose courage. You're going to choose to go in spite of how you feel, in spite of the fear that is trying to hold you down. You're going to overcome that inertia that has kept you on one spot for so long. Today, when fear shows up, I no longer bow to it. Not because it still doesn't come, but now I've outgrown the power and the force of fear in such a way that I'm able to recognize it and I'm able to say no to it most of the time, right? Because I know the woman I've grown into is bigger than the fear that once controlled me. And I really hope that is it for you. So, Queens, I want you to pause and think. Which version of you is showing up right now? Right now, right now. The one that wants to stay the same or the one that is growing into courage? Which one are you right now? Remember this, every step of growth that you take is one step closer to becoming the courageous woman that God designed you to be, right? Every step of growth that you take is taking you closer to your dreams and making you that woman, making you what God or the person that God has created you to be. So, listen to this. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is a triumph, or it is the triumph over fear. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is a triumph over fear, right? And growth is what gives you the strength to triumph. Growth gives you the strength to overcome, to triumph. A woman who refuses to grow will always be limited by fear. The woman who refuses to grow will always be limited by her own shadows, will always be afraid of even her own shadows, right? But a woman who chooses growth will always rise in courage and rise above and above and above, right? Personal growth feeds courage. Every step you take to grow makes you braver for the next challenge, right? So, I'd like to define personal growth as the intentional, and that's why this is so important. And I hope you're following me. You understand what I'm trying to say. Growth on one side equals courage on one side, right? Lack of growth on one side equals fear on the other side. A lot of women are afraid today, afraid to wake up, afraid to face their mountains, afraid to face up their challenges, afraid to live, afraid to live their authentic lives, afraid to make decisions, afraid to step out. You have surrounded this mountain for so long. You have been in this state for so long. What has kept you in there? Fear is so subtle that it comes in and wraps you in a particular place and you don't recognize it as fear. You think it's just normal. You think this is just what life is. You know, some are rich, some are poor. Some are spiritual, some are carnal. Some are excellent, some are mediocres. Do you understand? You kind of think that growth in life does not exist, that growth is something that happens by luck, or, growth is something that just happens, by happens chance. God chooses those who will grow, who will emerge, who will be leaders, who will be excellent, who will be wealthy, and all of this, who can raise good children, and others you just have to, whatever life hands over to you, you can't do anything about it. And that's a huge lie. Every man can determine their final outcome right from where they are by the choices they make and the actions that they take. Inaction is what has limited a lot of people. Lack of self-awareness, because you don't even know that you're in a fear zone, that you have lived the last 10 years of your life being afraid of what you don't know, because you don't even realize that. And then because you're so afraid, you can't take actions. You can't change what the definition of insanity is to want something different, and yet you're not doing anything different, right? You're doing the same thing and you expect a different result. How does that work? I have another definition of insanity that I discovered as I was teaching last night in my Evolve Academy class. And it is this, that the definition of insanity is for you to stop what is working, right? That is, something has brought you to where you are, and then you stop doing it, right? That is the definition of insanity as well. That is, what has worked for you, you don't stop it, you even do more. You grow. You've been taking classes, keep on. You've been attending power sessions, keep attending power sessions, right? Um, you've been attending, become a better you. Keep on attending, become a better you. It just makes sense. Are you with me? And of course, do you understand? So the definition of insanity is to stop something that is working for no reason. You just kind of just stop it. And that's mediocrity in its highest form, not only insanity. Okay? So personal growth is intentional process of developing your character, your mindset, your skills, your spiritual life, so that you can become the best version of yourself and fulfill your highest potential and purpose. Are you with me? Personal growth is an intentional process of developing your character, mindset, skills, and spiritual life so that you can become the best version of yourself and fulfill your highest potentials and purpose. It's about continually evolving mentally, emotionally, spiritually, socially, so that you're not the same person you were yesterday. You've got to be a better version of yourself. Every new day, every new week, every new month, every new year should, meet you different. Why? Because you're putting the effort, the mental effort, the emotional effort. You're putting in the spiritual effort to continue to grow. Life is about cause and effect, or what we call seed time and harvest. What you put into your life is what your life will manifest. What you ingest is what you bring out. As simple as that. If you look at your life today, the quality of life you're living, it's not by luck. It's based on what you have been investing in yourself or not, right? Either you invest in yourself or you dump stuff in yourself. When you get intentional, you begin the journey of investment. You begin to see your life as a growth stock, and you begin to invest quality stuff in your life. But listen, either ways, you're taking in something. And if you're not intentionally investing good stuff in yourself, then you're unconsciously, right, dumping garbage into yourself. Life will drop garbage, on you. But it's up to you to say, no, I'm not going to accept the garbage. I'm going to be intentional about my life. I'm going to grow intentionally. Age is automatic. Growth is intentional. Do you understand? If you're going to check out from where you are right now and become more than what you are, you've got to make a decision, and you've got to begin to do certain things. You've got to grow out of where you are and grow your capacity to receive more. Do you understand? You've got to constantly thrive or strive to be a better version of yourself. Every single day you're getting better. Your mindset is getting better. Your mental life is getting better. Your mental capacity, your emotional capacity, your financial capacity. Life is about building. Success in life is about building capacity, right? The capacity that you build. It's not about, the capacity you build is what's going to determine what you get in life. Sometimes people think I just pray and that's it. Prayer is powerful. And if you know me, I don't joke with prayer. But listen, prayer without action is not going to work, right? Because God has already given you everything He's going to give you. Now, your capacity is what determines your answered prayers. Did you hear me? Your capacity to receive is what determines your answered prayers, right? And what do I mean? If you say, God, I need water, And God brings all the water in the world and brings to your doorstep. Angels bring all the waters in the world, the rivers, the oceans, everything, because God thinks big. Brings everything to you. And then you come out with a cup. What are you going to get? An ocean of water or a cup of water? Even though the ocean is available, but all you get is what you expect, what you bring out. And that's the way life is. Life, success in life is not about oh God, what God gives. God has given you everything, but it's up to you to build your capacity to believe, build your capacity to receive. Do you understand me? Very important. Everything in life grows, and everything that grows must be nurtured. If you're not growing, girl, you are dying already. You're dying before you die. If you're not growing, you are dying, right? If you're not growing, you're dying. Growth is never accidental. Growth is always, excuse me, always intentional. You can't stumble into growth, right? You've got to choose growth. You've got to embrace it. You've got to pursue it. You've got to cultivate it. It just doesn't grow, right? If we did, Thomas Edison said once, if you did all the things that we are capable of doing, we would astonish ourselves. Astonish ourselves, astonish the world, because we are too loaded. You, lady, are extraordinary. You are an intelligent being. You were created for a very special purpose. You have enormous personal power and potential that if you lived 100 lifetimes, you couldn't exhaust the enormous potential that is inside of you right now. God has dreams and things that He wants you to do in your lifetime, right? You came to your world loaded with gifts and resources and graces and potentials and all of that. But if you're going to be able to fulfill those potentials, if you're able to be able to live out God's dreams for your life, it's going to require capacity to carry everything out, right? The potential of the human being. Listen, your human brain is supernatural. You are supernatural because you came out of God. The human brain is supernatural. It has about 20 billion cells in your head between your two ears, right? Are 20 billion cells, with each individual cell connected to another 20,000 other cells each. So there are about 20 billion cells that are connected to another, each of those 20 billion cells. I didn't say thousand, I didn't say million, I said 20 billion cells. And each of those cells is connected to another 20,000 cells, right? The possible combinations and depth of thought, ideas, creativity, and knowledge that you're capable of producing, and that is capable of, that you're capable of producing, is inexhaustible. Inexhaustible. Greater than all the molecules in this universe. That's how outstanding you are. And that's how sometimes I feel like God would look at us and will wonder, what's up? How can such a being like you be clueless about what to do with your life? How can such a being like you, like us, be defeated? How can we, submit to lack and poverty? How can we dare to open our mouths and say, I don't have? How on earth can you be confused or be afraid? How? How? You have everything to make you rise out of mediocrity and rise out of that box where life circumstances have kept you. How can you, as intelligent, as complicated, as loaded as you are, and the best you can do is cook and clean and rear children? How? How dare anybody say that as a woman, you're second class? You can't think. You can't think for yourself. You can't make decisions for yourself. You can't chart your own course and live your own dreams. How dare you submit to mediocrity, where your life shrinks so much by religion and by the words and thoughts of mere men? God is not wicked. God is not wicked. And God will never put you into a position of subservience just because you're female. There's nothing wrong with being a woman. There's so much grace in being a woman. But you're a great woman. You're an intelligent woman. You have dreams. You have a purpose. You have a right to choose the life you want to live. You're not a servant. And you're intelligent enough and old enough to choose for yourself what you want to do, how you want to live your life, and to determine what you want out of life, even though you're married. Marriage is not a prison. Marriage does not mean you can't think, you lose your brain cells. God is counting on you. Your generation is counting on you. The next generation is counting on you. Rise up from mediocrity and fear. Find your voice. Find your voice. God is extravagant with you. God is extravagant with us. Men have changed the world. When I say men, I mean male men, female men. I'm not talking about gender. I'm talking about mankind. God's creation. Men have changed the world. They have broken through complex discoveries. They've made the world more comfortable for others to tread. Think about it. You know, I hate it when people say because of your gender, they say, I mean, all we want to do is make the world a better place. How can that be wrong? How can that be wrong? That I want to use my gifts to make the world a better place. How on earth can that? Why do I need permission to do that? Why do you need permission to obey God? To obey your instincts? To obey the voice of the Spirit inside of you? Telling you you're more than, you can do more. You can change your world. How is that a crime? Men have broken, excuse me, have broken through complex discoveries. They made the world a better place for others to live in. What are you living for the world? What are you leaving behind for the world? What legacy are you planning to leave for the next generation? What will you be remembered for? What will you be remembered for? Start working towards it now. Start working towards it. Start building capacity for it. Start building capacity now for the things that, that God has laid in your heart to do. Learn what you need to learn. Learn what you need to learn because you can. Some of you, the enemy, the voice of fear is telling you you can't learn. You're too old to learn. You can't, it's too complex. You can't know it. Learn. I give you permission to learn what you need to learn, to do what you need to do, to be who you need to be, to deliver your mandate on this earth. Whatever you've achieved up until now is nothing. It's just a little minute fraction of what you're truly capable of achieving. It is said, someone said the sad story of humanity of the human race is that of men and women. Excuse me. Is that of men and women selling themselves short, living far beneath their potentials. Come on. I want to provoke you tonight to see that there's so much inside of you that you're crawling like a snail. You're moving too slow. You need to grow. You need to be determined to grow. You need to tell yourself, I'm better than this, and I want more out of life. Oh, it's time to stop living beneath our potentials and our possibilities. It's time to stop doing less, right? It's time to stop doing less and holding on to dreams that can't serve a generation. It's time to stop holding on to dreams that can't inspire you. Talk less of inspire somebody else. What dreams do you have in your heart? What do you want to do? What is your life going to be like? The average person settles for far less than is capable of achieving in reality. We all came to this world loaded with gifts and potentials and possibilities that can change the world 100 times over. And I want you to listen to my words. Listen to what I'm saying to you right now. Listen to it. Doesn't matter where you've been. It doesn't matter how many divorces you've had. It doesn't matter how many heartbreaks you've had. It doesn't matter how many words have been spoken, negative words, fear-filled words have been spoken into your life. No matter the experiences you've had, no matter how much you've suffered in this life, you can get up because God will never give up on you. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on yourself. You possess the most amazing tool of change and creativity right now. Your mind is sound mind. As long as you have a mind, you can do anything. Are you listening to me? You are surrounded by unlimited possibilities for success and outstanding achievement and true happiness. You can be happy. You can be happy. Staying in your fear zone brings depression. Walking out of your fear zone to the promised land brings joy, peace, and happiness. And you can have it all. Everyone starts off in life pretty much the same, right? With no manual. We all have to figure out our paths in life. Unfortunately, most people never get to the promised land. Most people never leave Egypt. Most people never leave their fear zone, their comfort zone. Most people embrace their stories as though that's all they can be. They settle. They live mediocre lives. They never come within the range of doing, having, and being all they can really be. They allow fear stop them. What is stopping you today? What is limiting you today? What's the voice of fear you're obeying today? It's time to take faith over fear. It's time to tune your ears to start hearing the voice of faith, right? And put in the voice of fear down. A girl, listen to this illustration. A girl, a girl child, though has the potential, to reproduce. But as long as she's a child, those potentials need to be developed. She cannot have a child. She cannot reproduce, even though she has everything a full-grown woman has in potential forms. The same thing, think of a seed. A seed can only fulfill its purpose when it grows into a tree. If it stays the same, it will never bear fruit. Do you understand what I'm saying? If it stays the same, it will never bear fruit. Listen, it is said, someone says, if 100-foot oak tree had the mind of a human, I would like to say, if 100-foot oak tree had the mind of a woman, right, it would only grow to be 10 feet tall, even though it has potential to grow to 100 feet. But it will only grow to 10 feet tall if that oak tree had the mind of a woman, right? Growth is the key to everything that we want in this life. It's the entrance to all of our dreams and possibilities in life. We don't pray for things, we grow into them. We build capacity to receive. Like I said, personal growth is your journey from seed to a fruitful tree. Personal growth is your journey from seed form to a fruitful tree, expanding, flourishing, and making impact. Okay? I like to say this, that personal growth is not about becoming someone else. It's not about becoming like me. It's about becoming like the person that God created you to be. Do you understand? It's about becoming the woman that you were designed to be. That is personal growth. So it's not, oh, I want to be. We thank God for role models, for mentors, but real growth is about becoming the woman that you were designed by God to be, right? And so I challenge you to make an irrevocable decision today to get on this journey of personal growth and purpose discovery, so that you can become all that you were born to be, making an indelible mark in the sands of time. We all need the courage of character, the character or the quality of courage, right? Of courage to do anything of value in life, because things will stop you. Fear will stop you. The voice of fear will stop you from doing the things you need to do, from taking the actions you need to take, from stepping on water because you feel you don't have what it takes to walk on water. But the power to walk on water will never come until you step on it. Until you step on it. Everyone doing great things today had to take risks, calculated risks. They had to take risks because they have grown out of their comfort zone. You grow. It's not something you force to happen. Growth happens when you invest your life, immerse yourself into things that will cause growth, like mentorship. We're going to get there, but because of time, perhaps we'll move that to, but let me just summarize it. Mentorship, learning, right? Taking courses, reading. You can't avoid these things and acting on the things you're learning. You've got to be intentional about life. You've got to be intentional. And you need to look at your life right now and ask, there's a season for everything. And it doesn't matter your age. You need to ask yourself, the moment you begin to get aware that I need to grow, right? It doesn't matter how young or how old you are. It's a season for change when you need to realign your life. You need to reassess your lifestyle. You need to change your lifestyle. You need to invest your time, your resources. If you're not happy about where you are, if life is a struggle for you, and when I talk about struggle, I'm not just talking about money, but I'm talking about life becoming a struggle to live, to do things. Do you understand? You find yourself living in mediocrity. You have the time, you have the skills, you have the knowledge, but you can't move forward. You find inertia holding you back. You find the fear of failure, fear of success, fear of the future. Something is always telling you you're not good enough, you're inadequate, you don't have enough skills. You don't, even though you seem to have more skills than people around you that are doing better than you. Do you understand? You find out that the way you're going, if you continue in this path, you're not going to end up in a good place. And yet you're going. You need to stop in your track and ask yourself, what do I need to do from here? You need mentorship. You need mentorship. You need to get on the growth curve. Intentionally get on the growth curve. You need to change the way you live. You need to put a lot more emphasis on things that will cause you to grow. Spiritual growth, mental growth, emotional growth. Do you understand? You need to change the people around you, the people you talk to. If you realize that people around you are okay where they are because you're not okay, you got to change your circle of friends. Do you understand what I'm talking about? There's a great link between growth and courage. Personal growth is the soil where courage takes root. Personal growth is a soil where courage takes root. Growth expands your self-awareness as a woman. It expands your confidence, your resilience. Without growth, courage is crippled by insecurity, crippled by fear of failure and self-doubt. And this is why a lot of women are not achieving a lot because of fear that has held you stuck in your tracks. You can't dream. You can't even dream. You can't even dream. And when someone tries to tell you more than this, you kind of shut down on that person because you feel like, don't push me. I'm not ready yet. When are you going to be ready? And that's why I created courses and wrote books, Living Life by Design. Have you read that book? Have you bought that book? Right? Living Life by Design. Now, Living Life by Design, we have the printed copy, and you can get yours, or you can get the e-copy. Living Life by Design, the Navigate Life Strategy Bootcamp is a must for every woman who wants to rise. The Navigate Life Strategy Bootcamp, because you see, many times we can't help ourselves. We have been in a hole for so long that you can't climb out by yourself. You need help with your growth plan. You need help. Mentorship is so powerful. Mentorship will cut into, uh, 1 year what you will do for 10 years. Understand there are many things you will never know until you have been taught. There are many things you will never know except you are taught. That's the power of mentorship. That's why we attend trainings. That's why we attend trainings. It is pride to think I can do it by myself. But for the past 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, you've been struggling with yourself. January, you make New Year resolutions. I'm going to start reading. I'm going to start doing this. I'm going to start doing that. But you realize you're not able to do it because without accountability, growth is hard. If not impossible, it is difficult. It's going to take a whole lot. And if you realize you've been struggling with managing your life, right, then you need to be humble enough to say, I need help. I need help. And that's why I put Navigate Life Strategy Bootcamp together to help women in 6 weeks to jumpstart their lives, to become self-aware. That's why the Evolve Academy, the 1-year program of Evolve Academy exists to help women, to take women on a journey, on a journey of transformation. Unfortunately, a lot of women do not understand the power of mentorship, the power of personal growth, the power of self-awareness, the power of personal development. That is the key to everything. The moment I started to grow, I realized that I didn't need to bind fear anymore. I didn't need to bind so many things anymore. I realized the struggles of life and living, they reduce. Why? Because I began to outgrow them. I began to outgrow those mountains in my life. The things I thought I couldn't do. I was energized and empowered to start doing those things. There are so many things going on around the world right now that are appalling. Do you understand? Women can't do this, women can't do that. It's almost as though it's a crime to be a woman. Do you understand? It's almost as though it's a crime to be a woman. Do you understand what I'm talking about? But I know that's not true. And that's why I'm lending my voice to the weak and letting women know that you are okay. You are okay. God is proud of you. God loves you. Do you understand what I mean? And you're loaded with potential. Don't let your gender limit you. Don't let your don't let it stop you. Don't let anybody tell you that being married is a crime. Because the moment you're married, then you lose your freedom. No, we are free. You are free. Don't let nobody hold you down with wrong thoughts and wrong mentalities and wrong doctrine and wrong everything. Don't let the society tell you, you can't grow more than 10 feet tall. No, don't allow that. Don't allow that. You're on the driver's seat of your life. You're on the driver's seat of your life. You're on the driver's seat of your life. If you have not attended the Navigate Life Strategy Bootcamp, I don't know what you're doing. It's a blockbuster. It's your next stop to the life that you never thought was possible. The testimonies of women that are going through it or that have been through it is amazing. It's amazing. Get on board. Get on board. And if you're not willing to invest in your own self, then I can't help you. I can't help you. You know, I get a lot of people come to me to say, mentor me, mentor me. How am I going to do that? How am I going to mentor thousands of people? How am I going to do that? And that's why I came up with those programs, well thought out programs with you in mind to say, if any woman will go through this, they will come out liberated. They'll come out free. They'll come out knowing what to do. They'll come out knowing themselves. Do you understand? That's why I created the Navigate Life Strategy Bootcamp. And listen, do not allow money stop you. You're not broke. And all of these things are just tokens compared to what is there. Compared to the change, the transformation, the energy, the effort, and everything that is waiting for you in the Navigate Life Strategy Bootcamp. Now I tell people, after Navigate Bootcamp, get on to Evolve Academy. Get on to Evolve Academy. Life Mastery course. 1 year. Life Mastery course that will change your life. That's how God has given the wisdom to impart the next generation of women and my generation of women. You don't have to crawl through life. It's your choice. It's your choice. But I lay before you growth, right? Growth, courage, excellence, or lack of growth, mediocrity, and just, scraping through life, right? So if you follow, and let's go through this process. I may not be able to sit with you for 6 weeks teaching you every single thing. I will not be able to do that. But through the courses, I'm able to do that. I meet with you once a week. I mentor once a week in a closed-door mentoring session where you can ask your questions. And all through the week, I have a curriculum. I call it, it's a liberty, a freedom curriculum where you're going to be healed from your past traumas. You're going to take charge of your life. You're going to be able to create the future that you desire. All right? So hop in, and let's go. Hop in, let's go. Get into the Navigate Bootcamp. Get into the Evolve Academy right after the Navigate Bootcamp. Navigate Bootcamp is 6 weeks. Evolve Academy is 1 full year, right? 1 full year with just a little break in between 3 semesters, so to say. But your life will never, you can't even begin to imagine, your life will never be the same again, right? So I look forward to seeing you next week on Monday. And until then, please take action, take action, take action. You make a decision right now that I'm not going to be the person I used to be. I choose growth. I choose life. I choose excellence. I choose courage. I want you to just go ahead and say these words after me. And we're just going to keep on saying these words. You're going to say it boldly, say it daily, say it until it becomes your reality. Are you ready, queens? Are you ready? All right, lift up your right hand as usual and say, I am a courageous and purpose-driven woman. And I want you to consciously believe these words. Make them, believe these words, right? I am a courageous and purpose-driven woman. I know what I want, and I'm empowered to go after my dreams. I do not need permission to live the life that I've chosen. I have chosen whom I want to be and what I want in life. Even though I feel afraid, I will not let fear stop me. I refuse to be ruled by the ugly force of fear. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I choose to be bold. I choose to be brave. I choose to be beautiful. I choose to live a life. I choose to live a life that is full, fearless, and faith filled. Every day, I choose to take courageous steps. I choose to move forward. I choose to make progress, even when it's hard, even when it's scary. I keep moving forward in faith. I am beautifully equipped. I am beautifully equipped for everything God has called me to do. My voice matters. I will no longer be silent nor silenced. My voice matters. Come on, say, my story matters. I will no longer hide. My dreams matter. I will no longer be timid. I choose to walk in love and power. I have a sound mind. I am becoming an unstoppable force, living my life on my own terms while helping others find their freedom and giving the next generation permission to do the same. This is who I am now. This is me. This is the me that I choose to be. This is the new me. Glory! Glory to God. I celebrate you. I celebrate you. I celebrate you. I celebrate you. Well done. I'm going to post this declaration of courage. I'm going to post it on the group so you can pick it up from there and you can just, print it out or write it out or whatever. Put it on your phone. Say it so you can hear your own voice. Re-saying it to yourself in the mornings. I want you to say these words over and over and over until it really becomes a reality. Do you understand what I mean? You've got to be intentional if you're going to walk out of where you are and walk into all that you were born to be, to do, and to have. All right? God bless you. And two things, get the book if you don't have it. Living Life by Design. It's a blockbuster. Get that book and start to read it. Secondly, get into the waiting room of Navigate Life Strategy Bootcamp, and you can ask all your questions in there. So getting into the group doesn't mean you're getting into class, even though why not? So get into class. The next class is starting very soon as this present class is rounding off. So be in the waiting room for the next session that is about to kick off. All right. So don't waste your time. Don't delay. Right. We've crossed the middle of the year and we're running quickly to the end of the year. The question is, who will you be at the end of this year? Are you, because whether you do anything or not, the year will come to an end. But at the end of this year, who are you going to be? Who will you be? Will you be an empowered you? Will you be a transformed you? Will you be a courageous you? Will you have your life and your plans, all together? Or are you still going to be the same person that you are now? All right. So put some action into your decision. See you at the Navigate Life Strategy Bootcamp. God bless you. I love you. I believe in you. And I look forward to rising with you. Let's rise together. Let's change the world together. God bless you.